Hey friends, I hope the morning's treating you well. Hope you got coffee if you drink coffee. I'm out here in Indianapolis after about 3 weeks in Nashville, and it's cold. It snowed all morning. I wish I would have been able to be out here filming in the snow, but that didn't happen. But it's nice and cold. You can probably see my breath. I'm not sure, but I hope things are good with you. I posted an interview a day or two ago that I did back in 2016 with Elijah Wald, and was talking about a book he wrote called Dylan Goes Electric. I did that interview in a hotel room in Knoxville, Tennessee. There was a thing called the Knoxville Stomp going on all weekend, and I went there. There was like some string band type music, if I remember right, and I went there because Joe Broussard, the great record collector, was supposed to be there making an appearance, and I interviewed him in a hotel room there. It might have been the same hotel room. I can't remember if I did that in my hotel room or I can't remember. It probably was. And I put that interview on the channel somewhere here, but that's a great interview. He was amazing, and he died a year or two ago. But I had heard Elijah was going to be in town also, so I reached out, and a friend of mine from Indianapolis, a dear friend, Ben Schaefer, was involved in publishing that book, and I believe he was the editor. I don't know what his, but I reached out, hey man, you think I can interview Elijah about the Dylan book, and he made it happen. And Elijah's a really, really smart cat, does a ton of heavy lifting, and there's a bunch of great books out there that he's been a part of. And anyhow, I figured I would share some of that history. I'm trying to remember. Someone asked me in the comments down below, and then I couldn't find it. They asked me if I had done anything with that interview since 2016. And man, I hadn't even seen it or heard it since I edited it, and I published it on my podcast, Thanks for Giving a Damn. I think I did the interview May 8th, 2016, and I probably published it within 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. And I thought about it, but I hadn't heard it once since then. And so no, I only thought of it because Bob Dylan has been tweeting, which is such a crazy idea. Bob's so mysterious and all that, and he had tweeted that they were making that movie, and that it was based. I knew the movie was coming, A Complete Unknown, and I knew that was coming, but I wasn't really sure whether I didn't know that it had anything to do with Elijah's book. And the tweet there, Dylan said, is based off of that book, Dylan Goes Electric, that Elijah Wald did, and he actually recommended it, which he never ever does. Maybe somebody out there knows of an instance where Dylan actually recommended or even acknowledged that somebody wrote a book about him. That's the first time I've ever heard that he's actually recommended it. He said, go see the movie and go buy the book afterwards. And that's pretty high praise. I don't know of instances where Bob's done that in the past. So that was pretty cool. And so that made me, when I read that, I was kind of like, maybe I should go look up that interview I did with Elijah. And I went and listened to it. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good stuff. And since the movie's coming out, I'll publish it on the channel. And maybe people will enjoy it. So I shared that with y'all. And are you guys planning on going and seeing that movie? I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of that kind of movie. You know, like the Freddie Mercury movie, even the Johnny Cash one. Just, I don't enjoy those. I'm probably too much of a fan to dig it, and so I just stay away. Sometimes it's good to stay away from things that you know are probably you're not going to dig, so it doesn't bring more negativity into your life. That's kind of the way I look at it. And then I don't know, for some reason I was talking to my buddy Tom Utes this weekend, and he said he was looking forward to it, and we talk about Dylan a lot. And I was like, really? You're looking forward to it? And he's like, yeah, I think I want to see it. It'll be great. And I was like, well, okay. And I thought about it. Maybe I'll go see it. I don't know. We'll see after Christmas. I don't want to. Maybe I'll enjoy it if I can get myself in the right frame of mind where I'm open-minded and I just go in and enjoy it as any old movie. Then I'll go see it and I'll get what I get out of it. Can you guys hear the sirens coming for us? It's the Dillon police. We're talking too much about Bob. And speaking of Bob, I just got back from Nashville. I spent 3 weeks down there. Last week, I recorded an album, and I'm very excited about it. And I've talked about this a little bit on the Patreon area with the folks that support. I've talked a little bit about that, but I recorded in Columbia Studio A. That's where Bob Dylan did Blonde on Blonde and Nashville Skyline, some of John Wesley Harding, and Leonard Cohen did Songs from a Room, Songs of Love and Hate. So it hasn't been open to the public in decades, but it's been used for education, and I somehow got permission to use it. And we went in and we made a record, and they still had the old microphones. I played into 80-year-old microphones. I did a walkthrough show. The engineer there was showing some of the mics that we were putting on the guitars, and then I singing into an old RCA mic. And the engineer talks about it a little bit, but I put that on Patreon, and for channel members and Patreon. If that interests you guys at all, you can go check that out and join. And it supports this channel, and I've talked about the recording there a lot leading up to it, and I will be talking more about it here on the channel as time goes by. But I'm pretty excited about that, and it's pretty cool to go into a studio where Bob Dylan sang Visions of Joanna. You know, it takes a lot to laugh, it takes a train to cry, you know, and go there and do your own thing. And that was beautiful. So Leonard Cohen sang Bird on a Wire, or Famous Blue Raincoat, you know, stuff that was really important to me at a young age. And another thing that was special to me was when my grandfather, this will loop back to the recording, I promise, but when my grandfather played music, and you know, he would do a gig here or there once or twice a year, and he worked for a living, but he would play with his friends when he got the chance. And he had an old Fender amplifier upstairs, and me and my cousin weren't allowed to get anywhere near it. And he kept it in a closet, and me and my cousin would sneak up there. He was like my brother growing up, my cousin was, and we would open up the closet door. I might be 5 years old, I might be 10, I don't know. It's throughout childhood, but we'd open that up and we'd look in and we'd be like, that's a Fender. So where are we ever going to see a Fender amplifier, you know, in person as kids? We just knew that, wow, that's a Fender. That's something. That's an important amplifier. And when my grandfather died, I got some of his old guitars, and my cousin got that amplifier. And my cousin came over, this was months ago, it was a while back, earlier this year, and he brought me that amplifier, and he just gave it to me. He's like, I think you ought to have it because you'll actually use it. And it was in great shape, and it's spotless. It looked like a reissue or something, but it was a 1968 Fender Deluxe Reverb, and it looked like Hank Hill owned it, you know, just in perfect shape. And the story was there's a Fender Mustang that I made a video about, like one of the first videos I ever made on this channel. That was my grandfather's. That was a 63 Fender Mustang. I believe that he bought the amplifier and the Fender Mustang from somebody for $75 total. Like, I don't know, 1969 or 70, something like that. And so anyway, as this recording is coming up, I was thinking, you know, man, it would be kind of cool if I could play my grandfather's amplifier on that recording on the Columbia Studios. Here were so many of the great country albums that my grandfather would have loved and had in his collection. Wouldn't it be cool if I could have his amplifier, be the amp? And I brought another one, my old Princeton. I have a 63 Princeton that I've used before for recording, so I wasn't sure whether the deluxe would sound good or not. I wanted it to sound really good, and so I brought both of them, and it turned out the deluxe sounded great. So got to use that on my new record, in the studio where all this great stuff that my grandfather would have loved was recorded. That felt nice to be able to bring that along. And but yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm very worn down and tired. It's been a really, really good year. And I slept 11 hours. I got back in Indy night before last, and I slept 11 hours straight. And I'm trying to, after losing a lot of sleep, making a record and all that, I got to go back the first of the year and mix it. And Lord only knows when it'll come out and all that stuff. I'm not worried about that right now. But yeah, man, kind of excited about that. And I will keep you guys abreast of the information. Oh, I should say this studio, this is also where Chris Christopherson used to, you hear those stories about him sweeping floors, working for a living, and that's the studio. He used to be like the janitor there. And yeah, that's so when you hear Johnny Cash and Dylan doing those sessions, girl from the North Country, and all of that stuff, that's where that happened. It was right there. So it was beautiful to get to use it. I feel very, very fortunate. And I think we really, really did some cool stuff. I'm looking forward to that. I'll talk more about it in the future, but just wanted to say that for now. I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you being here all year, leaving comments, supporting the channel, watching these videos. It's great. It keeps the whole thing going. And even more so, those of you who, have joined Patreon and all of that. You guys are the backbone of all of this. I know the holidays can be a bummer for a lot of people. I hope it's not for you. Reach out to somebody. Don't, if there's somebody that just reach out and say hey to them. Even if it's here in the comments or whatever. Just say hey, and we'll get through this holiday thing, and we'll get to the new year. And I will talk to you guys soon. Much love to you.